Hey, Big Brother fans, let's talk about who won the HoH in the final 4 week and who they nominated. It was Chelsie, Cam, and Rubina playing since Makensy couldn't play as outgoing HoH. And we have the winner info, and also their nominees were already made last night. So we've got it all for you. And hey, click subscribe if you have not. If you watch the live feeds, you might have been a little blindsided by Chemo's eviction last night, because all day on the Wednesday feeds, Chelsie and Cam were debating evicting Rubina, and by Wednesday night, they had locked it in, which was what Cam wanted. They had talked to Makensy, and she wanted Rubina to stay, but Cam knew it was best for his game to not be the sole guy left in BB26, since the threat of an all-female Final 3 was a real concern for him, and it remains a concern today. The edited episode, I don't think, reflected the fact that before the feeds went down, it was like 90% that Chemo was going home. So it was interesting to hear last night what actually happened between what we thought was going to happen and what really did happen. Neither Chemo nor Rubina is much of a comp threat, but if Cam was sitting on the block next to Rubina, he could legit go to jury before Final 3, and they could do that all girls F3. So he was right to want Chemo to stay, and I was wondering if Chelsie Jedi mind tricked him into doing what she and Makensy wanted. And last night on the feeds after the episode ended, yes, we found out that is indeed what happened. Chelsie told Makensy that she pushed back really hard on Cam about evicting Chemo. Basically, having Chemo there made Cam more comfortable, but Chelsie pressed him until he finally agreed to keep Rubina. And apparently Cam was not pleased about it, although he did cave because he told her, well, you got what you wanted, just before they went into the HoH comp. And that seems to be the theme of Big Brother 26, really. No matter who she has to convince, Chelsie seems to get pretty much what she wants. With Rubina and Cam as much weaker comp players, it seemed like it might have been pretty easy for Chelsie to win her 4th HoH of the season. But as we know, at Final 4, what really matters is the power of veto, which plays out on Friday this week, not Saturday. So Rubina apparently was insistent she didn't want to go on the block. She has been up several times recently. Makensy thought it was ridiculous because it doesn't matter. In the end, Chelsie nominated Cam and Makensy last night. And of course, the veto matters. It's going to determine who gets the sole vote to evict. Nobody should really be upset, but one nominee is. Chelsie was busy playing both sides of the fence last night, actually all 3 sides of the fence last night after winning Head of Household. She assured Rubina that she was safe and headed to Final 3, and then Chelsie assured Makensy if she won the veto, she'd pull her off the block. Chelsie also spent last night reassuring Cam he's her real Final 2. Honestly, as opportunistic and clever as Chelsie is, I kind of feel like she's keeping her options open. But let's be real, sitting next to Makensy at the end is a bad idea because of her resume. And Rubina has good social ties in the jury house. So in that regard, maybe Cam really is her Final 2 because the dogs at the crib don't get to vote. So I don't know who would vote for Cam to win over Chelsie if they're side by side on finale night. Still, Cam's pretty salty about losing another comp. He tried to go to bed early last night, but production yelled at him to get up. That's because they went ahead and did nominations late Thursday night instead of waiting for Friday. After Chelsie made her noms, Cam was again being salty, kind of singing a little Sweet Kenny tune about being ready to go home and just being over it. Sounds like Chelsie forcing Cam's hand to evict Chemo is still bothering him. Makensy and Rubina talked last night about Cam's lying low strategy and only winning when he needed to, but he couldn't pull out a W at Thursday's HoH comp, which was a must-win for his safety. So maybe he's not throwing them. Maybe he just can't win. If Rubina or Makensy wins veto, I would expect them to target Cam. If Chelsie wins it, I'd expect her to save Cam. That's my gut because he's the softest target to beat at the end. Come back later to find out who won the Golden Power of Veto for the week when it matters the most. And of course, all four are playing, so there is no player draw. The Veto Comp plays Friday, but airs on Sunday along with the HoH and the nominations. It's a big week ahead as we head into the tail end of BB26.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.